All right. Hello, fellow photographers. Thank you for joining me today. This is actually gonna be last stream before Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and then there's gonna be one more before the end of this year. All right. So thank you for joining me. My name is Martin, if you are here for the first time. And today I'm gonna be looking at your street photography. This round is a little bit shorter, and it is actually my mistake because I forgot to set up a round. So a lot of you could not submit, but there are 2 rounds now where you can submit your photos. And when it's next week, I don't know exactly when I'm going to stream next week, because it's gonna be, after holidays or like in the middle of the holidays, so I have to kind of figure it out. But I will let you know in the community tab or in on Reddit. Also, the week after that, I'm taking a break because we're leaving for winter holiday, maybe for skiing with my kids and stuff. So I'm not sure how the internet's gonna be over there. So I just decided to skip 1 week. So that's that. So if you have your photos, feel free to either visit aboutphotography.blog/submit, or you can check the link in the description. For anyone who is watching this from the replay, hello there, and make sure to let me know in the comments. All right, first thing before we start, or actually we have a couple of things, is I want to say thank you to everyone who decided to support the channel with the membership. And it's Benito Mpangi, Marius Daskalu, 18th Jezičná Gymnasium Zagreb, Kat Mesarovic, Zanet's Addiction, Jiří Kolařík, Brian Egerton, Tommaso, Tim McGraw, and David Allison. Some of you are actually supporting the channel for more than 5 months, so that's crazy. Thank you very much. All right, so that is that. Also, let me know if the sound is okay. There is actually, I can actually maybe just check it out myself, so I'm not like. All right, so now I know I'm not talking with my mic turned off. And all right, let's talk about some news. I have already talked about it last week, I believe. There is a new podcast with Beakett the Porter, and actually it got a lot of views recently. Some of you probably shared it, or I don't know where I got it. It got like 1,500 views in last 24 hours or something like that. So Beakett the Porter is a Magnum photographer. She won and I think it's called like Young Expression Award or something like that. She's actually still very young, but she was very young when she joined the Magnum Photos, and her approach is actually very unique. She has a lot of like different projects, and I think especially if you are into documentary photography, this might be interesting for you. So thank you everyone who decided to check it out. You can either watch it with some extra visuals, or you can listen to it in your favorite podcast application. So that is that. If you check the other channel, which is called Photography Critiques. There is a new critique. Let me check that. From, I believe, Samuel, and other critiques are scheduled.
I would probably turn into black.
Are scheduled for. I can't find it. Okay, Samuel, for the next year. So that's gonna be that. So thank you everyone, and if you, in case you did not subscribe to this channel yet, make sure to follow it so you can kind of follow this critique content. All right. So next up is actually not this, even though it's a great channel, but it is results of round number 32. Today we have round number 34, and last time you could vote for the winner of round number 32, and the winner is MGH Tall, and it's this photo. So I will contact you for the interview. Everything has been a little bit hectic lately, so I kind of switched into a vacation mode, and I'm not doing any interviews before Christmas, or probably during Christmas, but after maybe next year I will just contact you for the rest. This was actually my favorite picture, but almost every time I support someone, they don't really make it. So that's that. So this is something you cannot influence anymore. What you can influence is actually this round. Is it 2 hours and 20 minutes left, if I'm not mistaken, and I will put the link. I will post the link to the description. You can still vote, and so far Rosetta is actually leading. All right, a very different image from those colorful ones. I voted for this one, I believe, David and Goliath, but this round was really fire. It was very strong round. It's very hard to decide who is going to win this round. So yeah, and if you're watching this from the replay, you can actually check it out and see already who won. Before we start, let me quickly check out the chat. Merry Christmas everyone in warm Florida. All right, that's very funny, because we had, I think, -10 was most in Prague, -10 Celsius. I don't know what's the Fahrenheit equivalent for that, but it's actually pretty cold, and I can only imagine what the Christmas in Florida are like. So let me just switch to the, as I mentioned, we have less submissions than usual because I forgot, I talked about it last time. I don't know, I wasn't able to, let me see. I wasn't able to set up a round, and people could not post, and so less people participated. But you can participate in the future rounds. So finalist number 1, and I really like this photo. This is all about like the colors. It has, even though I don't like it, it has this so lighter vibe, but it's not exactly like that, only like so lighter, because so lighter usually when he shot like windows or see through something, he aimed for silhouettes, and this we have the subjects. Oh, I'm missing my trackpad. I wouldn't be able to zoom to show you what I mean exactly. So what I like about this is how the photographer caught this these subjects with mirroring each other, you know. Maybe it would be cool if they would be either looking at each other or either looking out, both. So it would kind of improve this mirror effect, but still, I quite like it. I like the colors. How there is a, you know, is this a green color against the red one and orange one, and you know, overall very. I wonder if this is like heavily edited or if this is just okay. That's kind of my screen, or if this is just a raw or some kind of camera preset. This shot has been taken in Paris during one of my walks. Did some street photography in the past, but it became a passion about 1 year ago. I took this shot a couple weeks ago. All right, that's interesting. That's really cool. So thank you and congratulations for making the finals. It's around 34. Let's add it to the collection. One thing I wanted to say is that even though we have less photos this time, there are still pretty strong photos, and you aiming for the windows are, you have a great eye for the windows. Almost looks like a painting with colors running. Oh yeah, I agree. Very nice colors. Thank you for participating and congratulations. This one I was a little bit confused because this crop is weird, to say at least. But okay, so it's X-Pan. All right, I was wondering why the crop is like that. And playing with X-Pan aspect. Ratio edit. Okay, extreme. So it's not X-Pan, but it's X-Pan like. All right. You probably need to open this in another window to see full photograph detail. All right. So one thing with X-Pan, and I'm just wondering, maybe let me know if this was cropped either after you took the photo or if you just had this ratio in mind. But it's actually pretty difficult when you have framed this wide to kind of, because you're capturing so much information, and usually it can get pretty messy. I had an interview, if you're interested in that. I think I did a podcast with a guy. His username is The Real C Robin, and he shoots with X-Pan a lot, also doing double exposures and stuff. So if you're interested in that, you can check it out. All right, so that is that. Congratulations for being second finalist of today, and actually a winner of the previous round, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you for that. Next up is not Paris. If you are not dyslexic as I am, and you read this Paris, but it's Paris. Okay. So I get it. We have 3 pairs. The photographer went for this, lines, symmetry, also for this rhythm and disrupting it with people. I kind of like it. It's not like a super awesome, brilliant shot that no one ever took, but I like it. It's decent. One thing I would just kind of consider, I don't know if it didn't look like that or if it's just the tilt. I would either make sure it's really, everything is really straight and really like 90 degrees, or I would just straight it in the Lightroom. This looks to me like it's a little bit tilted, but either way, a great shot. Someone commented, this makes me feel lonely. Okay, I don't necessarily agree with that, but this maybe makes me feel lonely. That's funny. All right, and this is also very nice. So thank you for participating. Indian flower market. So now we go into the open waters of submissions. It's quite a challenge photographing small semi-enclosed markets. People stepping into frame constantly, and the huge difference between shade and light, with most things happening half in, half out. I ignored the shadows and exposed for the highlights and was quite pleased with this one. Oh yeah, I agree with that. It's just especially about, you know, being different when difficult when you have such a difference between light and dark. You basically what's end up happening is that you have to kind of expose for highlights, and then you kind of paint or kind of, you know, model the shadows, so you have the pitch black, even though it got some details in the shadows. You can even end up with the details, but what's with no details. But what's end up happening if you expose for highlights is that you, in my opinion, get a little bit richer colors than you would usually do, and very often I like it. I think the exposure is nice. I think the composition could be a little bit better. I would love to see the photographers stepping a little bit more to the left and showing us, you know, this, getting them in the middle of the frame, maybe from that part, from that side, to kind of, you know, shoot them from different angle. But, you know, maybe it wasn't possible. Maybe there was stuff over there. Maybe just, you know, a lot of things. But I like the colors. I think it's a nice photo. Let's add it to the collection for now. And Gary, okay, lots of photos. Looks like from India street photography. Okay. Oh man, I really want to go and visit India. It just seems like such a photographable place, photogenic. Yeah, talking about that, I don't know if this is from India, but it definitely looks like this is from Atul Kumar. And no story for this one, but I really like it. I don't know if this was improved in the post process, but it looks awesome. This, I don't know if he waited. They are probably taking selfies, if I had to guess. And I just wish he was a little bit more separated. His arm was a little bit more separated, but it looks pretty good, especially with the, I would maybe consider cropping it a little bit. I don't know if this is not like too far, because there is not much happening around here, and I wonder if cropping it like that wouldn't make the picture even better. And I like the, I don't know if that's it's just a thing with the light in India, or if this is like a post process, but I really love the monochromatic images, in case they are not just black and white, but if they are like black and blue, black and orange in this case. And there is this gradient which kind of goes from the top right corner all the way through. I don't know if that's like a post-process vignetting or the camera, but it's a really clean picture, even though you have, some birds and stuff, but I really like it. So this goes to the collection as well. And Atul, I recently interviewed him with about his photo. It was actually this one. He won a round, and I don't remember which round was it, but definitely a great eye. And there is a little series of this image. Also like this one. This is pretty cool. So great eye. Congratulations. And Diraj Man, again, very nice photo, very symmetrical. I wish the bird was a little bit maybe higher in the sky, as this feels a little bit empty. Like, imagine if we had the bird high in the air, and then imagine if we had a little bit of separation between those two subjects. So I mean, like, we can kind of see there are two of them, right? But if they were a little bit more separated, because with this composition we're going for this clean kind of image, and it's amazing how the water was still, even though it feels like this is not slow shutter because you couldn't capture the bird like that. Still, the water was pretty still, and it has really a film vibe because of the edit. I don't know if this is pure black and white or if there is some different color, and there is a mist. It has this nice atmosphere. So let's put it into the collection for now. All right then, and yeah, Diraj has a great eye for clean composition, beautiful atmosphere. This is also awesome. All right. Oh, okay. So this is a crop of a bigger picture. This is very cool. So thank you for your submission. So many great photos. So check out this Instagram account for more awesome photography and inspiration. Painting Chinatown. Not painting in Chinatown, it's painting Chinatown. Few things, even though like the image is pretty busy, it's kind of clear what's going on. From the composition perspective, it feels a little bit cut off, like the hydrant or whatever it is called, the fire hydrant is, I don't like the way it is cut. I would either like to see it being cut off, but then you would kind of lose the gate. Is this like a Chinatown gate? And then, you know, shot from behind, which is not really, it kind of works in this case because the subject is not the main focus. It's what he or she does with, she's like, the artist is painting the gate. I would also like to try to get a little bit down to get this the lights over the gate because it's a little bit colliding, and I would actually try to get closer, shoot landscape, get 1 or 2 steps closer to the artist to catch what's on the picture, like that, and having the gate in the foreground, in the background, sketching the picture, how the artist painted it, and maybe having the gate out of focus, or maybe the other way around, to play with the aperture, with the depth of field, to maybe focus on the gate, having this kind of, you know, recognizable, and just try to kind of avoid those overlappings, these clashes with the lights. So that's that. But thank you for your submission. Okay. All right. Oh, this is a nice car. Supercar. Okay. Norwich, UK, December 21. Thank you to that man for deciding to hang curtains on that particular evening. All right, yeah, I love it, especially when you have something with the repeating patterns or rhythm, and then you have just something else that's kind of like disturbs the rhythm. Just imagine if this was shot from like a drone, being like 90 degrees towards the building, having just the building with all those windows and just one lit up. Like that, I would probably consider cropping this bottom part a little bit, just so we get rid of this. Let me show you this. Not sure, because you're going for this clean kind of shot, and maybe I would, if you can't get it straight because you know it's gonna be distorted, or just you can stay there, I would probably try to get the edge of the building right in the middle of the frame. But I can imagine this was probably like a quick shot when someone noticed that the person is hanging the curtains and caught it. And I don't know if the scene lasted like 10 seconds before the curtains were, you know, closed, before they closed the window. So it's kind of difficult to go for this graphical kind of like design only photo. Everything like has to be perfect, and I think it's pretty good for how it was shot, where it was shot. It's not set up. Usually you only see photos like this being set up, but you know, finding this on the street, it's also very lucky, but also it takes a great eye to see this and be ready for that. So thumbs up for that, and I'm gonna add it to the collection. Also, this is amazing. I'm usually not really a big fan of when people expose for highlights, they get pitch black shadows, right? Sometimes, and I'm usually more fan of pitch black shadows than having overexposed sky. Fanho is one who comes to my mind, who got really great with overexposures. I just never really felt like the white is adding too much to it, but this picture, that's pretty cool. That's very nice. Yeah, and this is probably shot from the airplane clouds. It's not like I like this one. This one you should submit next time. It's funny. All right, thank you for your submission. Or this one, Orlando. Actually, Zuck's image. We should have the interview, but neither of us had time, and I actually picked this one for being a thumbnail for this stream. This is a shot in Jarida, Morocco. It is always great to it is always a great joy to see children playing with ball or jumping in the sea instead of play with a sad phone. Okay, not sure I get it, but it is pretty cool. I like it. I like, you know, this moment, this posture of the kid, and the other one, the joy in their faces, just catching a very nice moment. I really like it. So this goes to the collection as well. Okay, and the socks image is one of the regular comparators, people who submit their photos, and the composition is really cool. So let's see if this one is gonna make it to the final 6. We'll see about that. We have 8 ones already. Lao Night Procession, Men Burning Incense, Luang Prabang. So I actually was in Luang Prabang, and there is a lot of things happening during the night, and I'm not a night shooter, but those scenes, you know, they are kind of, for at least for me as a European, very exotic and very kind of new. I don't know how ordinary this scene looks to someone who is maybe living there, or maybe like experiencing those events a lot. So I would go with, you know, this is nicely exposed, it has nice colors. The scene, it's just you know, even though it looks kind of exotic, it's maybe a little bit mundane, nothing too special for me. Yeah, but it's nice photo. It's if I this would be definitely one of the shots I would be presenting to someone, you know, showing my travels, and it's decent photo. I like it. Thank you for your submission, Albert Stigman. All right. It's kind of like this travel documentary when you kind of want to show people what you saw, and I think you managed to frame it pretty well. All right, thank you. Smoke break. This one with a little bit of layering. People in the foreground, cars in the background. The framing is the person, you know, which is the main focus of this image, is dead center. Actually, like, his head is exactly in the center of the image, and if he was like a standalone subject, maybe I would say alright, but then I don't really like how he's kind of clashing with this person. The cars are, you know, bother me a little bit, and the exposure is, I think it's wrong a little bit. It's a little bit overexposed. Now, if I saw an interesting character like that, I would maybe try to stick around, maybe follow him a little bit, if it's not too weird, and try to take his photos in a little different environment. So yeah, there is no Instagram. Oh, okay, there is actually an Instagram. Let me see. Optical eyeballs. Is it? Eyeballs. Okay. All right. This is nice, nice layers. I like it a little bit more. This one, yeah, I think it just needs a little bit more work. But a great eye for colors and composition. Thank you for participating. What's this one? Did we lost a picture? Okay, no. In transit. So again, an interesting character. But for how interesting it is, it's not really capturing that character enough, I'm afraid. It's the bottle, not, I mean, like, you encounter someone who is sitting at the bus stop. So it's pretty difficult to tell you, it's pretty hard to do. Just, you know, go closer, just show the camera in the face of the person. But you know, when I zoom it like this, like, look at it, it just looks much better. I mean, like, her face expression is what makes the photo. She's looking at the phone, so information wise it's kind of you know, nothing special, but I think it has a potential to be a nice photo. Like, you know, zooming it like this, maybe you have a collection of more faces. It's just from a distance, I don't really think the environment adds too much. This is all about the expression of the woman. And this photographer, okay, Fuji X, goes for only black and white photos, okay, and some nice portraits. So thank you for submitting your photo. Express haircut at QB House Tokyo on 43rd Street, New York. Okay. Leica. What's that? 3G. 50mm Summa rate. Ilford. Okay, so this is film, like old film Leica. HP5 plus 400 ISO. Okay. I have no experience with film. I just know it's pretty difficult. This attempt for layering with mirrors, I guess, or not mirrors, I think it's interesting idea. It's just the execution, it's very, the scene is very busy, and yeah, not the cleanest shot. It's difficult to take photo like that, because like so many things getting in the way. I wish we could saw someone's face or something that would kind of make this chaos a little bit into order, kind of like, this is okay, so we see two hairdressers with two clients, or maybe three, cutting the hair, but you know, imagine how it would look shot from the other side. I'm not saying it's possible. It's great to try things like that. I just think this attempt is a little bit busy. But thank you for your submission. And is this the camera, or is just the regular Leica? Okay, thank you. This one, playing with the exposure, or is it accidental, or is it by design? Interesting. I think it's the artistic approach to choose to expose for the inside of the shop against light is interesting. I think the execution needs a little bit more work, but it's interesting idea. We can see this is like a person looking out of the shop, I believe, or if this is a flash or whatever. Yeah, needs a little bit more work, but it's an interesting idea. Thank you for your submission. Right, and this Instagram is not working. All right, feel free to share your Instagram next time. This one, kind of like a shot I was already talking about. It was, I think it's nicely composed, nicely exposed, even though it could be a little bit brighter for me. Not sure if that's my screen. No, I don't know. But nice colors, composition is okay. But the moment, it's nothing really special happening. Two people walking in the market, I guess, like a walking street, bazaar. Okay, market it is. So you know, a great like technique, great eye for colors. Just also looks a little bit like HDMR. I don't know. And I'm not against an HDMR, just saying that, yeah, look for a little better moment. Lyrosh Hembram. Okay. All right, a lot of selfies and some street photography. This is also probably from the market. All right, thank you for your submission. Under the street light, and then this photo is exactly what it says in the title. It's two people under the street light. It feels like it's a little bit out of focus. I would probably maybe consider changing the aspect ratio to vertical, because what you're aiming to capture here is just two people under the lamp, so I think this would be enough. I don't think necessarily the rest helps the photo. If anything, situation, you know, nothing really special. Not the biggest fan of the colors. It's very kind of difficult to shoot against the light like this. And, you know, cropping it closer or getting closer, we could maybe see some kind of emotions. Maybe she's leaning against him, and the background is also not helping this. I would maybe consider opening up the lens and making the background blurry a little bit. Yeah, so those are my thoughts. I'm just checking my video app where I monitor my kid sleeping, if anyone is interested. No, I won't show it. But she's sleeping, so that's cool. No babysitting today. Just really playing with fire, streaming with my kid sleeping. All right. Joking aside, let's take a look. All right, some nice compositions, nice framings. Yeah, like this situation it's a little more interesting. It has more emotions. You know, capturing people. If you capture people from distance, it's you have to go for like perfect composition, perfect design, like perfect colors, and I just find it much easier to go for like emotions and moment rather than having like a graphical kind of design wise perfect photo. So Mukogao Kaiwin Rainy Night. Okay, sorry for butchering the title. Taking with Olympus OM2 Suica Order W 35mm f2 L4 Delta 400 pushed to 800. It feels like it's like all out of focus. but I don't think I would get it better. So content-wise, it's a moment. It's a woman, or just a person with umbrella, which is usually pretty okay. I wish the umbrella had a little bit of separation, like she's kind of having it too close to the body, which is a little bit, you know, kind of everything is kind of, I would say, merged together, and I wish it was a little bit separated. And it's I wish it was a little bit sharper, but you know, what can you do with the film, or with I don't know if that's manual lens. No, it's auto. Okay. Overall, this, like, usually when I see photo from Tokyo Zen Street, I'm usually either like surprised or amazed by the composition. This one, when comparing to your other photos, it feels a little bit like a snap or like a crop. Yeah, like this one is also not sharp, but I feel like this one has more emotions. It's just more experiencing the Tokyo. This one feels just like a, yeah, really like a snap. But thank you for your submission. Golden hour silhouette, and there was a heated, I'm not sure if it was heated, but there was a long conversation. The subjects are bag. Actually, the subjects are the bag. Actually, look more interesting to me. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, that's actually the main strength of the photo. Image has two subjects. First one is obviously its silhouette, and the second one is in its own subframe, works quite well together. So we are referring to, is it this subject? Okay, so there is let me I can't find it. Okay, here it is. No. Okay, maybe I'm getting there. Okay, a little bit more to the right. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's a woman with a child. What's the relationship between two subjects? It's up to you to decide. I can't, because there is none. The subjects are too far away from each other. The subjects in the back are too far away to the dark for me to see, to make any causal relationship between anyone in the image. This isn't surrealism or abstract photography where you can say it's whatever you want it to be. It's street photo. Things have to have nearly causal relationship or juxtapose one or another to make the image stronger, higher impact. You really shouldn't be getting upset at people giving you their opinions. If it looks wrong, it's usually wrong. Okay, that's a little bit harsh. If you're going to get upset at people unable to clearly explain your photograph, the creative arts and public posing probably shouldn't be for you. I notice you get upset quite easily when people drop their kind of true opinions on your photos, which lead me to which leads me to believe you have no formal art school training or just resort blah, 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 blah. You are right, I don't have any education in this field and do photography in my spare time. And you are right about the critique that is provided by other people. That's how we learn things from each other. I've got to say, there is a difference how to deliver critique, especially when nobody asked for. And there is a difference between getting upset and deciding not to continue in conversation. For example, You provided quite a reasonable explanation for that. Makes sense to me, and now I'm aware of my mistake. On the other hand, you can say the same thing in a more aggressive manner, which leads... Okay, that is fair, I said. Okay, so I'm not gonna go over the comments. I'm just gonna go over this photo. I think there are two things in this photo. We go with the silhouette, and if you have the silhouette in the foreground and you have some kind of like beautiful background, you go straight for the design. We've seen a lot of those photos like on the Instagram when you have someone walking, you have the silhouette. I would probably go for lowering the details in the shadows to make it pitch black and maybe a little bit sharper, but you can go for like out of focus silhouette. I would just lose the details on him. I don't think it helps anything. That being said, for this kind of image, the background is not so perfect for this. So that's that. Then we have this subject, which is a woman with a child, which is okay lit. The scene has okay light. I think it's too... You either going for an abstract shot with a silhouette, or you going for some kind of, woman is holding a baby, and I'm thinking this is a little bit clashing with can't really decide what to have in the photo. What's this photo about? And the other thing is that if this photo is not going to be printed like 10 meters wide, it's going to be very difficult to notice this kind of subject. It took me a while to notice there is actually a subject, and it can be my mistake, but someone just told me like, even if you shoot like a unicorn or rainbow or whatever, like a UFO, if the viewer can't see it, it's not a good photograph, in a sense that just the image. The good photograph for me is that when the viewer sees image and it's quite easy to understand what's going on, what the image is about, and then the matter of the content can be complicated, and it can be like I don't know, you could shoot like, or you can look at the old paintings and be like, all right, this is quite a busy scene, this is like a battlefield or whatever, but I see what's going on, and then I can kind of dive in and look at all those details and stuff. This is not it. I just I look at it and I see person walking, I go, okay, this is a silhouette shot, the background, nothing really special, all right, interesting idea, but really nothing to write home about. It's not like I dive deep and start to examining, okay, so is there something in the reflection, and does it mean anything, or whatever. I can imagine going closer and taking the portrait of the woman and the child being lit like that. I think it's good. I don't just think it's noticeable. Yeah, that's the word. But thank you for your submission. Let me know if this actually makes sense. Like this scene. This is like, it's quite a busy scene, but it's easy to understand what's going on. It's some kind of restaurant, people are, and then it depends how they are kind of put together, how you appreciate, like this one, how you appreciate the composition. This is funny juxtaposition, or just, the subjects. Yeah, so I would say the biggest weakness of the photo is that that second subject is not really visible or noticeable. All right, William Davidson, great photos in this session. Thank you all who submitted. Cheers from Vancouver. Cheers and Merry Christmas. Walking the dog. So this feels a little bit like a snap to me. It's okay, you know. The composition is nothing, you know, super special. You have someone who is kind of you know, cut off. I don't really mind when the heads are cut off like that, if it is for some reason. Not sure how this scene could have been you know, improved. Maybe going closer, focusing on the face of the dog with everything else being cut off, like just focusing on the pure enjoyment he has been given by someone who is kind of petting the pet like this. Maybe. Yeah, let me know what you think, guys. If how you approach this kind of scene when you see a pet. I think it's overall difficult. But thank you for your submission. All right, and we have last. This is interesting. I wonder how this would look in black and white. We have last 2 photos. All right. So let me get it straight. This is not super like amazing photo in a sense that, you know, composition, we have like 2 cars, you know, people are a little bit colliding, the exposure is a little bit weird, even though it's film. But the content, it's just it's pretty funny how the policeman is kind of looking at the car like this. And I think often when you have situation like this, it kind of overcomes the bad composition. Not saying that this is bad composition, but there are elements that could be improved, like this part of the car, you know, being cut off, and then the head of the woman is kind of sticking out of the car. The same thing over there. Oh, sorry about that. But that being said, I think it made me smile, and sometimes it's enough. Yeah. So, anyways, let's take a look at the Instagram. I wonder if this is film, learning how to shoot. Okay. Whole grain. I would say whole grain is it's meant to be film, if I'm not mistaken. This is pretty cool photo about, hey, I'm Francisco, software engineer based in Tokyo that's trying to learn how to become amateur street photographer. I think it's pretty good. Mostly black and white. Occasionally I summon up courage to give a color a try. I shoot exclusively on film. Also, I have nothing against digital. I bought my first camera, Canon A1, back in 2017. Okay, that's great. All right, keep it up. I think this looks pretty cool. I took a similar photo in this bamboo forest. Not this one, but like in the bamboo forest. And I never really figured how to get everything right. It's either overexposed, underexposed, the colors are wrong. Yeah. This is cool. That's nice subframing with the, not subframing, but the layering. All right, this photo, trying to do some layering in the photo. Bangkok, which is not really yeah, the location. So yeah, I'm sorry, this one feels a little bit like a snap. It's not, the subjects are not sharp, this one. Not saying that everything has to be sharp. Taking pictures of people looking at art, it's usually, it can work, but it has been photographed so many times that it has to be something special or something perfect, which, you know, to be fair, this is not that. My biggest problem with the composition is this guy colliding with the statue. I think you could have waited for him to pass on the other side, and then you could have had like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 kind of points in the photo. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's, and you know, maybe at this spot it was difficult to take a photo, but I would just wait for the subjects to separate to make it a better one. All right. This is funny, the 2 dogs. All right, so thank you for participation, and I'm gonna switch it up, and now we're gonna do everyone's favorite part, which is right now this one, which is picking the winner. And we have how many? 8 photos. Let's see. So finalist number 1. All right. Second one, third one, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to cut how many? 2. I have to cut 2. So I'm unfortunately gonna go with this one. I think it's the weakest one from the top 6. I want to keep this one. I think it's amazing. This one is pretty cool. So it really goes this one or that one. I think both have some flaws, not too big, but some, you know, some things I would improve about them. Let me see. I'll probably remove this one this time, and which leaves us with this selection. All right then. So thank you very much for participating in this round. I know it was a little bit shorter, but you know, my bad. I forgot to create the rounds, but that has been corrected, and I will see you guys next week. I hope you get some presents from Santa Claus or whoever brings the presents to your location. Maybe it's just UPS or FedEx. Let me know. For my kids, it's I don't think you have a term for that. So many great shots, hard to choose this week. Favorite photo, the first one gets my vote. All right, thank you, William Davidson. I will see you one more time before the end of the year, and I thank you very much. Been noted this year, no visits for me, so only FedEx visit. All right. So thank you very much for participating. Especially thanks to everyone who decided to support the channel. If you have nothing better to do than listening or watching some photography content, then make sure to check out my latest podcast with Magnum photographer, with documentary photographer Bieke de Porter. She's amazing photographer, and I have actually been setting up that podcast for 1 year. It took me 1 year to get to interview her, but she's amazing photographer. And if you do, let me know. I sent you to see it. Whatever. So cheers, everyone. Have a great Christmas, and I will see you after Christmas. Bye.